Hey, and welcome to Lena Listens. My name is Lena, coming to y'all with my thoughts and reviews about the JBP. Alright, y'all. I was going to cue up Mace welcome back, but the way that Doechii video clip hemmed up my last video, absolutely not. A lot of people were unable to even see that video because of that small video clip. So yeah, lesson learned. Anywho, in this video, I'll be touching on episode 892, We'll Talk When I See You, and the Patreon episode titled Dine and Dash. Mark is back and he really missed the gang, y'all. Like, you could tell he really missed them. He treated episode 892 like the night before the first day of school. Clothes and shoes laid out, ready to go. And the gang even said it themselves that they needed him for a good bit of these topics. And did. When Joe basically said he wished Mark had 6% of sellout in him on some Van Lathan type stuff, I thought to myself, that is most likely not happening, because one thing Mark's going to do is stand on his thoughts and beliefs, whether people agree with them or not. We've seen it on the pod enough to know that it's just simply not happening. And while we're on thoughts and beliefs, let's jump into the Patreon episode titled Dine and Dash, a conversation that definitely caught my ear, and probably y'all's too. You know, if you caught the episode, is them wanting to create new narratives for the new year. And I was like, what? New narratives? Joe voiced his opinion about how going to Ish's house is played out now in the nutshell, and that the narratives from last year are too, and that it's just simply time for some new ones. Now, the newest narrative that Joe is trying to push is that Ish has this secret apartment. And you know what? Say what you want, but Ish plays along with the jokes really well. He doesn't get all crappy about it for real. And most times he lends some laughter to it, or even add a line or two to the joke altogether that comes his way. He does, you know, it just doesn't go unnoticed. Not to me anyway. Only time where he has a different tune is when it's girl related between he and Joe, a blast in the past, if you will. Other than that, he handles it pretty well. Now, when Joe was talking about this we need new narratives business, Ice and Ish suggested positive ones for a change. Knowing people like chaos, drama, and everything in between, I don't know if it'll take off like the drama-filled ones. You would think it would, but I don't know, y'all. What's y'all thoughts on this? On the gang cooking up new narratives, or the people as in the community, drumming up narratives? It's only January. I'm pretty sure some narratives will come about shortly, whether they create them as time goes or the internet will for them. All it takes is for one thing to get misconstrued in the blogs, and here comes a new narrative. Some may say the pod doesn't need it. Narratives, that is. But take a sip of whatever you have for every time I said narratives in this video. Sometimes I take a blast in the past myself and check out old Patreon episodes as I do housework. And the irony of me watching the There Will Be Signs Patreon episode again, the 10-year anniversary Patreon episode. And in that episode, they were cracking hella jokes on Ice and his glitter jacket. And I'm not gonna hold y'all, I was cracking up too. I was really cracking up. Like, I forgot all about this one. Boy, they were letting him have it while he was in the back changing out of that suit. Like, I was really cracking up. Like, if you go back and watch that episode, that was a good one. But what I found so ironic is that Imani said in that video that Ice and Parks should get these jokes too. They shouldn't be exempt, etc. And would you look at that? See, I'm not the biggest stars in the moons type of girly, but I do believe in the power of the tongue. And look at that. Just that fast, in a year, Freeze is catching all of the jokes now. All of them. And what I would suggest, as an avid watcher of the pod, Ice, would say it's a part of the gig. Everyone has their turn. This is what he was saying to Mark on the latest Patreon episode, because Mark mentioned that Ice was getting these jokes while he was away. But what I would suggest is that he takes the jokes a bit better, because he was getting really tight on his Patreon, all while saying it's a part of the gig, it's my turn. Now, if it's blatant disrespect, I'm not saying you gotta eat that, but the way everyone catches these jokes, I think everyone should go along with the flow or don't do it at all. Like, everyone can catch these jokes. Everyone catch the jokes. Like, just be a little bit better with it, because if Ish can handle it well, I feel like Ice can too. And it's all fun until the rabbit has the gun. You know, they want narratives. Well, when they all shoot at one another, they can stopping themselves from saying what they really want to say, because we see them say, I'm not going to say that, or nope, I'm not going to take it there, or they become super tight-lipped and refrain from saying what they really want to say and cut their eyes around the room. Now, that's where the narratives can come from, but then it may have some heavy leaning truths behind it, so I don't know if they're going to want to play those games. I thought that segment was interesting, and I wonder what people will drum up this year. Now, I recall them saying that they were going to play Taboo on the pod, so I wasn't too shocked. People had mixed feelings about it in the comments from what I saw. And to be honest, I didn't mind it. I found myself answering the questions with them. I thought this was hilarious though. Watch this.
This environment in here is
toxic. Oh shit.
Not them all getting this right on the nose. Not them all saying it in unison. Quick sidebar, I understand why Ish was tight that they didn't get the answer. Influencer, he explained it well enough for me to get it off rip immediately. Once the weather break, I think they should probably take this outdoors and do a team building event, you know, outside, go somewhere. No sports though. No sports. We can't afford for them to get broken up this year. Absolutely not. And if they so desperately need to play a sport, make it something super light, like Top Golf or something, you know. Imani is about to be super up. Imani and Mark made a deal. Every time Mark shoots a wild joke towards Imani, he has to put $50 in the jar, and vice versa. If Imani shoots a cold joke his way, he gotta pay up too. I think Mark is gonna cave first, and a lot. Forget a jar. They might as well get one of those huge clear bins for this. All in all, both episodes were pretty chill. Mark was super eager to get back. He ran through all of those topics on episode 892. And when someone is gone for more than a pod, you can really tell. Maybe because we're just so accustomed to them. I do have a few quick hits before I get out of here. I did a poll about watching the movies at home or at the movie theaters, and it seems like people agree with me and lean with it depends on the movie. If it's a banger, if it's a heavy hitter, if it's a top tier, A tier movie, I am definitely sliding to the movie tavern. Gotta get me some food and a drinky drink, have a time. I'm definitely going to the movies for that. Movie tavern, preferably. The gang touched on Jill Scott dropping a new project, and there's definitely going to be some Crown Royal type of songs on this project. If you know, you know. We all know how Jill gets down. Next one, Timothy Chalamet is definitely on the road to being one of those ones. A-list actor, that is. Ish wasn't rocking with it at first until he pulled out that Google and saw everything he was in. So yeah, definitely on the road to being this generation's Leonardo DiCaprio. I can see it. Ladies and some guys, because I know some guys watch Housewives as well. Not Salt Lake City getting a mention on the pod. Joe brought up Mary from Salt Lake City because her story was in a doc that Joe saw. And if you know, you know, Mary has one of the wildest Actually, Mary has the wildest story in the entire Housewives franchise. The absolute wildest. I just never thought I would hear Housewives anything in that room, the pod room. But I mean, we have pod wives, so I can't be too surprised here. And lastly, Eve's song Tambourine is definitely one of those ones. When that comes on, you gotta get up. That's not even my Philly bias talking, I promise. As always, feel free to drop your key takeaways and thoughts in the comments. What are your thoughts about these creative narratives? Which way do you think they're going to lean, positive or negative? I think I'm going to lean with the negative, me personally, because it keeps the people talking. It keeps the people going. Unfortunately, that positivity can't get the same shine. But, you know, it's just part of the game. If you're feeling the content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, y'all. Bye.